Welcome everyone, Matthew here, your go-to insider for crypto's biggest moves. Today I've got something massive to share about XRP, insider info you won't find elsewhere. If you're serious about XRP, stay until the end. This changes everything. Let's jump right in. The breakout you've been waiting for is officially here. Yes, you heard me correctly. And if you're wondering why now, buckle up. We're about to unravel the chain reaction happening right this moment. But first, what if I told you that every major indicator is aligning, institutional money is quietly moving in, and the breakout trigger was set weeks ago? You just weren't told about it yet. That's exactly what's going on with XRP. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines, skeptically watching, you may be about to regret not acting. Stick with me. Here's the thesis. XRP is poised to surge into a new phase, not just a pump, but a structural breakout. Why? Because three things are converging: regulatory clarity, institutional accumulation, and a technical setup that screams breakout. And we'll break each part down step by step as we walk through live tweets, fresh data, and scenario models. Then we'll hit the counter-arguments, the skeptics, and why many are blind to what's unfolding. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap: when, how high, and what traps to avoid. Let's start with the regulatory backdrop. And yes, this is a big one. Remember the lawsuit from the US regulator against Ripple, the company behind XRP? That dark cloud has lifted. The collapse of that uncertainty is the foundation for everything we're about to see. Now, this alone doesn't guarantee a pump, but it enables everything else. Because when regulation moves from threat to tailwind, capital flows differently. Next, institutional dynamics. Big players tend to move quietly. Just today, a report confirmed a firm backed by Ripple is preparing to raise over $1 billion on Nasdaq, specifically for building an XRP treasury. That's not hype. That's financial engineering plus token accumulation. So what that tells us is, smart money isn't just speculating on XRP, they're structuring to hold it. Now tie that with market structure. Check out the volume upticks, the tweet flows, the social buzz. On tweet charts, you'll see XRP has one of the most active communities. Tweets per day are rising fast. Social momentum often precedes price momentum. The crowd is waking up, and the big players know this, so the breakout is being engineered. But what does the chart tell us? Let's simplify. Imagine a spring being compressed. The longer you wait, the greater the tension. When it finally releases, it has more power. Technically speaking, XRP has been in that compressed state. Constricted range, clear support, a series of higher lows forming. One major article noted that a breakout above 220 would unlock targets of $233 and $350. Now we may already be at that pivot point. That means if you're watching from 180 or 2 hour, you're far more likely to regret not acting than you are to miss the move. Here's a mini cliffhanger for you. What if that breakout isn't just toward 350, but $5, $10 or more? I'll show you the scenario in a moment. But first, let's walk through a live tweet that lit up the community today. This is legit. The CTO of Ripple tweeted a one-word message that racked up hundreds of thousands of views and sent the community into decoding mode. If you followed crypto long enough, you know when insider tweets hit this level of community reaction, they often precede something big. So when you see that kind of engagement, combined with the other factors I just laid out, regulatory win, institutional accumulation, compressed price structure, you have a recipe for breakout. All right, so what are the triggers we're watching for? 1. Sustained volume above key resistance. Think of a sprint starting not on a walk, but full out. 2. Major liquidity events, listings, treasury purchases, new corridors of adoption. 3. Media and social ignition. When mainstream outlets begin to cover XRP as a buy the breakout asset. And guess what? We're seeing the headlines. XRP being named one of the top million maker tokens for 2025. Boom. You're starting to see the narrative shift. That's huge. Now let's do the scenario modeling. Scenario A, conservative. XRP breaks above $2.50, moves to $3.50 within weeks. Scenario B, moderate. XRP pushes to $5 in the next 3 to 4 months based on accelerating adoption and treasury buying. Scenario C, aggressive. XRP enters a full-blown breakout phase. Double-digit move into $10-20 territory for the first time since the last major alt season. Why do I believe C is possible? Because we still have massive tailwinds, real-world payments use case, ledger infrastructure, global remittance demand, and the narrative of a payment rail asset rather than purely speculation. Stick with me, because now we're going to pivot and talk about the two big questions every critic asks. What if it fails? What if I'm too late? If you're doubting this surge like most are, stay tuned. This part is crucial. First myth, XRP is just hype, no adoption. Wrong. Adoption is quietly building. The XRP ledger has been around since 2012 and supports real-world value transfer. Ripple has enterprise deals, payment corridors, and growing utility. The hype trap is when you ignore fundamentals. We're past that in this case. Second myth, regulators will kill it again. Not this time. The legal overhang is gone or significantly reduced. The SEC case has wrapped up and the regulatory environment in the US is shifting. That unlocks institutional capital in a way we haven't seen previously. Third myth, it's too late to get in. If you believe that, you misunderstand structural breakouts. The chance to be early isn't always at the $0.50 stage. It can happen when the conditions align and the breakout begins. And we're exactly at that moment. Imagine walking into Amazon at $20 per share instead of $1. You still make life-changing returns if you're tenacious. Now the emotional part. I want you to feel the FOMO, yes, but not the irrational kind. The smart FOMO. The kind where you say, okay, this is a structural opportunity I may not get again for years. And you align accordingly. Because in crypto, waiting for the perfect bottom often means you never act. I've seen too many wait, and then the move is gone. So here's your call to internal action. Don't let the wave pass beneath you. Prepare your entry, size your risk, set your stop. You're not gambling, you're participating in a structural breakout. If you believe the narrative, then act. If you're still on the sidelines, ask yourself, when will the timing be perfect? Because perfect usually comes after the move. Now for the climactic reveal, based on all the evidence, the treasury buildup, the social explosion, the tweet signals, institutional adoption, regulatory clarity, I believe the time window for XRP's breakout is right now. We are entering a phase where we could see the move in the next few weeks rather than months. And I'm not just talking 20–30%, I'm talking multiples. This is your chance to be part of the move, not react after it's done. So if you've been thinking, I'll buy when the breakout happens, that moment is here. Don't be the one watching while others ride. Let's close with a recap of the big wins. 1. Regulatory clarity now exists. 2. Institutional money is quietly backing XRP. 3. Social and tweet volume is detonating. 4. Technical structure is poised for breakout. 5. Narrative is shifting from crypto gamble to infrastructure asset. If those 5 align, you get breakout. And emotionally, this is about community. If you're in the XRP army, you're not alone. You're part of something bigger. You share conviction. You share vision. When the breakout happens, you'll be looking back and saying you got in early. But it only counts if you act. If this blew your mind, smash like right now. Drop a comment with your XRP price target. I want to see what the community believes. Subscribe for more alpha because we're only going up from here. And share this video with the XRP army. Let's get this community growing and strong. Let's ride this breakout together.